And we have so much planned for you ahead early on this Tuesday morning. But first, we want to welcome you in. Thanks for being with us. I'm Caroline Blair.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Caroline. Glad you are with us. I'm Justin Quesinberry. It is Tuesday, November 17th. By the way, I've been in another studio for most of the morning. I just came over here. It's cold in here, but it's cold outside too.
It's cold outside. It's cold in here. Hence why I've got, it's not quite outside. So I've got the short sleeves, but I've got the turtleneck. So I'm kind of like in the best of both worlds here today. But yeah, you might want to grab the jacket this morning. It's chilly out there.
It sure is.
I know it was another redhead that famously said it, but the sun will come out tomorrow.
Lee, that is one of your best lines yet.
I'm not going to sing it for you.
So I was telling you, I felt like it was a little cool almost this morning. Adrianne blew me away this morning. She said on her drive in, she actually had the heat on in the car.
And there's nothing wrong with me. I don't want to panic.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Don't call the doctor. I just really like a little heat when I'm driving into work. It's comforting to me.
Yeah. Well, how is the morning commute shaping up this morning?
The morning commute's okay. Not as great as the weather, I can tell you that.
Adrianne, we still have some problems out on the roads, it sounds like.
Major issues on the roads this morning, Lee, and I'll tell you, we're actually seeing more developing here in the last couple of minutes. What you're seeing here happened a little bit earlier this morning. About 5 cars involved in that crash. 1 car set on fire. Let's head over to our map where we can show you exactly where that is and how things have progressed over the past few hours.
Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Justin Quesinberry, and if my math is correct,
okay.
I think we are entering the 37th hour of our election night coverage.
I'm glad you're keeping track of the math. I'm just trying to stay awake, hopefully like a lot of you.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a little more sleep than we did. We are keeping our election coverage going. The House of Representatives is on track to impeach President Donald Trump for the second time.
Now, this is a live look at the House floor where lawmakers are meeting right now to begin discussions on a single article of impeachment. The body of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has arrived at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. Former law clerks are lining the steps of the building, serving as honorary pallbearers. And Caroline, I read this morning that during her more than 40 years as a judge and a justice, she had 159 law clerks over those years.
Absolutely, and you can see them lining the steps there. And the hearse just arrived just moments ago, within the last minute or so. And as you can see here, members of the Supreme Court police also helping serve as actual pallbearers. We are now seeing the Vice President rolling up his sleeve, gearing up to receive the shot. And this is a historic moment, Justin. This is not something that we are used to watching.
No.
This is certainly something, the medical care of the President of the United States, the Vice President, is something that's deeply personal. It is open to the American public in terms of, their health, but we don't typically watch them receive their vaccinations. And just look at that. It took just seconds, maybe just 1 second, a quick prick for him to receive that vaccination.
Not long at all, but this comes after months and months and months of waiting to see what would happen with a vaccine.
We are tracking breaking news live at 7 out of Brunswick County this morning, where officials say a deadly tornado tore through several homes late last night.
Local authorities say 10 people are hurt and 3 are dead. Our Rachel Boyd is standing by live. It's time now to check in with Lee Ringer for a little more perspective on all this.
Yeah, Lee, this is absolutely tragic. This is a nightmare for those in Brunswick County waking up to this. Unfortunately, this is nothing new here in North Carolina, these nighttime tornadoes.
Yeah, North Carolina unfortunately just has a bad history of it. When you look at the stats, 28% of all the tornadoes in North Carolina happen at night. They often do occur more in daytime, but unfortunately, we have more deaths at night. Even though only 28% of the tornadoes occur at night, 81% of the tornado deaths occur at night.
We're going to hold here and move on when it's safer. I want to toss it back to you in the studio, though.
Wise words there from our reporter. They're out there to make sure that you don't have to get a look at the weather, and even just a little bit of water, as we know, can be treacherous out there on the roads, Justin.
So true, and that's the danger of this storm coming in the middle of the night. You don't know exactly the conditions out there because it is still so dark.
It was a devastating time for so many people, and we just saw in your story even the damage that happened at Shaw University, just down the street from that church. We saw buildings there, including the student union damaged.
I was in Sanford just hours after the tornado hit there, and you may remember this scene right there. That's the Lowe's Home Improvement store down there. So many people were impacted by this storm, Lee. It's just unbelievable still 10 years later.
Yeah, and the tornado that did the damage we were just showing you there from the Lowe's Home Improvement store in Sanford is the same tornado that was on the ground all the way there through downtown Raleigh, where Amy is this morning.
We want to take you live right now about 30 miles off the coast of North Carolina. This is what's known as the Frying Pan Tower. And, you know, in previous hurricanes, this webcam of the flag has become kind of famous. People like to watch it kind of whip in the wind. Caroline, you said you were watching it hours and hours ago, and it was a much different sight than we're seeing right now.
You're right about that. It's last night when the storm was starting to hit, that American flag there started to tear a little bit while I was watching, and it looks like it whipped it around so much the flag is wrapped around the pole.
And I do have some good news for you because you don't need the rain gear today.
We'll take it because you know Justin doesn't have his umbrella anyway.
Well,
So.
it is in the car. It is in the car.
A little bit of light rain is possible today, so you know, may want to make sure you have the umbrella nearby just in case, Justin.
I do. Thank you. Second day in a row I got called out, and I got it in the car. I'm prepared. It's a new year. It's a new me.
New year, new you.
But anyway,
I love it.
I brought mine. Did you? It's always an issue for me and you.
Of course I didn't bring my umbrella. Are you kidding me? But I do listen to what Lee tells us. I just always forget. Don't be an Adrian. Don't be a Justin. We'll be a Justin today. Don't be an Adrian.
Nothing that's going to cause any big headaches for you this morning, but enough that you may have to use the windshield wipers or maybe your umbrella.
I've got mine right here.
Yep, Justin.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Okay, hold on.
I do think I have mine in the car, though, Lee.
Oh, well, I got to get out of my bag, but I swear it's here.
Caroline,
it's
I
here.
was kidding.
It's here.
We'll trust that Caroline brought it back in early December, and this was really a guessing game at that point, but we made our best effort to guess when we'd see our first measurable snow. Justin, you said a couple days after Christmas, and well, that was wrong.
True.
Just putting it bluntly. Adrian, who we're going to check in with traffic in a minute, said New Year's Day. We had rain on New Year's Day, but no snow. And Caroline, you guessed it later in January, which is a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
January typically is the time of the year if we're going to get snow. I said January 10th, which is going to be wrong, but what's today's date?
It's the 8th. It's the 8th.
Just rub it in a little more. The 8th. So
who's the expert of the group, though? I feel like you had an unfair advantage here.
Yeah, Lee, you keep reminding us that we lost.
You know, I have to rub it in a little bit. Freezing fog.
Never heard of it.
That's a new one. And to be clear, you're saying freezing fog, not freezing frog, right?
Yeah. Well, the frogs,
Probably
if they're
both.
out, they may be frozen too, but I'll leave that to someone else to talk about, right?
I'm just seeing your graphically.
You know, I had to take this opportunity to call someone out. We like to call Justin out on occasion.
On occasion, it's a daily basis.
Well, you know, I had to get it in at least once today, right?
When the
Yeah,
shoe fits,
so-
right? And every day in the mornings, I think, you know, I'm listening to Lee's forecast. Is it going to be a good day for me to get outside? And then I take that afternoon nap, and it just does not
the
always
same
happen.
thing.
But we're gonna do it again today. Can we get outside this afternoon?
Yeah, you don't want to nap on today's weather.
Okay.
This
Lee,
afternoon.
to be honest with you, I probably do.
Well, me too, but
About 2 feet of snow fell in the Triangle that day, a record, by the way, for snowfall here. Lee Ringer remembers this
I do.
and can break down everything we need to know to recall this historic event.
there were snow drifts that were up to my waist, which doesn't really say a lot because I'm not the tallest person in the world. But even at that, it's still to this day the most snow that I've seen.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of snow.
And look, here's a live look at the North Carolina coast this morning. Doesn't that just relax you looking at that?
It is the absolute best, and it looks at least like in Corolla right now, a perfect start to the day, beach weather, but we might be seeing some changes as the day progresses.
Yeah, enjoy it while it lasts. To Winston-Salem, our Julie Frendak is there for us this morning. She forgot her gloves. Not a good morning for that.
Poor girl, I
but
know.
Julie, what are you seeing and what are you feeling? The lawyer accidentally puts a cat filter on
Bless his
himself.
heart.
And I'll tell you, the thing that gets me are the cat eyes, because you can
Just
see
looking.
the desperation in the lawyer's eyes.
In his eyes, in his voice. And you know, the bad thing is, we can all relate. We've all done something incredibly weird or strange or funny on one of these Zooms.
We are all in different studios, and in the commercial break, I hear Justin and Caroline just laughing and laughing and
I'm
laughing.
still
So
laughing
it all
about
makes
it.
sense
It's just
now.
so funny.